It wasn't supposed to happen. At least, that's what I kept telling myself as I drove home that night, the city lights blurring past the windshield, my mind replaying the events of the evening like a dangerous movie on fast forward. I had been out celebrating a promotion with colleagues, work drinks had turned into a late-night dinner, and somehow, one thing led to another. The woman in the passenger seat beside me, Emma, was laughing at something I said, leaning closer than appropriate, and I knew that my life was about to collide with reality in a way I could no longer deny. By the time we pulled into the driveway, the guilt was already gnawing at my stomach, a tight, unrelenting knot that made every breath feel heavier than the last. Emma looked at me with a half-excited, half-nervous smile. "You live here?" she asked lightly. I nodded, the answer hollow, the truth unspoken. The front door opened before I could even reach it. "Daniel." "What?" The scream tore through the quiet night, jagged and raw, echoing down the hall and into my chest. My wife, Anna, stood in the doorway, her eyes wide, her hands trembling at her sides. Emma froze in place, caught between embarrassment and fear, her playful grin replaced by sudden, awkward panic. Anna's voice broke again, sharper this time. "How could you? With her?" I opened my mouth to explain, to apologize, to stumble through the words that I didn't even know how to shape. But no explanation could undo what had just been done, and no apology could erase the shock in her eyes. I realized, with a clarity that was almost cruel, that this was a moment that would define everything between us. Emma shuffled awkwardly, trying to smooth the tension. I didn't know." "Leave," Anna snapped, voice trembling, cutting her off like a knife. Emma hesitated, then nodded quickly, retreating to the car without another word. I watched her go, feeling a strange mix of shame and relief as the door closed behind her. For a moment, the house was silent. The kind of silence that presses against your ears, that fills every corner with tension so thick it feels almost tangible. Anna didn't speak. I didn't speak. We just stood there, two people bound by years of love, trust, and now betrayal, staring at each other like strangers. Finally, I broke the silence, my voice low, careful. "Anna." She raised a hand, stopping me immediately. Don't speak." Her eyes were glistening, the anger in them mingled with pain I had never seen before. "Just walk." I nodded slowly. Without another word, we moved through the house, side by side, the distance between us small but filled with invisible walls. Every step was deliberate, every movement weighted with unspoken thoughts. The kitchen smelled faintly of the dinner I had planned earlier, now untouched. The living room held our familiar furniture, our photographs on the walls, the life we had built together, all of it now a backdrop to a fracture that might never heal. We reached the back porch, the moonlight spilling over the wooden deck. I leaned against the railing, Anna beside me, both of us silent, both of us trying to make sense of the impossible. The city hummed softly in the distance, indifferent to our private catastrophe. Her hands rested lightly on the railing, trembling slightly. She didn't look at me, and I didn't want her to. We didn't need to see each other's eyes to know the truth. Our marriage had been shattered in a single, reckless night. "I can't," she whispered finally, almost to herself. "I can't believe this happened." "I know," I said softly. The words felt small, inadequate. But they were all I could manage. "I know." The air was cold, the silence heavy, and yet there was something almost sacred in the way we stood there together, acknowledging the betrayal without speaking the words aloud. It was as if the weight of what had happened could be borne only in shared silence, in the understanding that this moment was irrevocable. Minutes passed. Neither of us moved. Neither of us spoke. The night stretched on, filled only with the quiet sounds of the city and our breathing. I realized that this was the point of no return, not just because of what I had done, but because of the honesty it had forced upon us. Every lie we had ignored, every small secret we had buried, had led to this. And now, standing here, we were confronted with the raw, unfiltered truth. Finally, Anna turned slightly, a single tear tracing a path down her cheek. She didn't speak, didn't accuse, didn't demand. She simply reached out, almost instinctively, and our hands met briefly, a fleeting touch that spoke of everything and nothing at once. Regret. Love. Loss. Hope. I didn't know if this would be the beginning of healing or the start of a permanent divide. I only knew that tonight, we had faced the truth. That we had acknowledged the fracture. And that, somehow, walking together in silence, we had survived the first moments of an unimaginable revelation. The night carried on around us, indifferent, unchanging. But on that porch, in that quiet, we were suspended, two people bound by years of shared life, now forced to navigate a new, uncertain reality. And though nothing would ever be the same, the simple act of walking in silence, side by side, felt like a fragile step toward understanding, if not forgiveness. We didn't speak again that night. Words were unnecessary. Our silence, heavy and deliberate, said more than any argument or confession could. And for now, it was enough.